Dave, Tracy, welcome back to Flags of 50. How are you both?
Yeah, good. Yeah, been great.
Yeah. Excellent. Right, so we're here because the Great Continental Flag Off is now finished to an extent. And we're here for winners, losers, runners up. So, following the last episode, where are we now then with all?
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay, so last time we'd just drawn our wildcard winners, which was essentially the second and third place flags from each continent. They were drawn out to face off against a winner from each continent. So you had the best flags versus like the runner-up flags, and they got matched up. Yeah, and the results were. Tracy, you want to run us through what happened?
Yeah, so we had Saint-Pierre and Miquelon, our beloved ship flag.
Yes.
Go the underdog.
That was such a cool ride.
Versus the corporate Marshall Islands.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sadly, it was time for us to say goodbye to the ship.
Yeah, we had to get serious about flags.
Couldn't have got two contrasting flags out of that, could you?
Yeah.
No.
It's pretty special though that St. Pierre got that far. We were so happy.
Yeah. It was very much a case of the flag that follows the rule book on flag design versus the one that threw out the rule book.
And everyone had a laugh and got it through to the the playoffs, so to speak.
Yeah, but sadly,
people
came to their senses and the Marshall Islands knocked out the ship.
Yep. Yeah, I was sad.
It's a sad day, yeah.
And we had Seychelles, which had so much momentum that was pretty unprecedented, we thought, versus Kenya. So it was Africa versus Africa. And the non-traditional flag of Seychelles absolutely smashed Kenya. It was pretty one-horse race, really.
Yeah, one of my favourites. I love Seychelles. It's a great flag.
And then we had Uruguay versus Turkmenistan. Our one that we've backed, the one that your mum fondly nicknamed Carpet Stan.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, it was time to say goodbye to another favourite of ours.
Yeah.
And Uruguay came through, didn't it?
Still don't know how. Like Uruguay's just so middle of the road for me. And Turkmenistan, I thought, yes, people have got behind this one. It's into the top 18 and straight out it went.
Yeah, so Uruguay, it was an overperformer, we felt.
We did.
It did really well in the contest, for sure.
That won quite comfortably.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And we had, Bhutan smashed Guyana. That was a one-horse race. Dragons rule. Guyana, we thought, did well. No, but more of a best of a bad bunch, kind of like Uruguay from South America. There wasn't a whole lot going on there in terms of great flags. A lot of good flags, but not a lot of great flags. So, yeah, Bhutan smashed on through. And then we had a split decision between us here, Barbados, Papua New Guinea.
I was torn.
No, we know you love Barbados.
Are both good flags, yeah.
Flags, yeah.
Exactly. And I felt like Barbados was a real favourite in the heats. It did so well.
Yep.
But then Papua New Guinea is such a strong flag, isn't it?
Well, I think it came from nowhere because it wasn't that well known. Because it's from Oceania. We know we hide down here. No one knows about us. And it got through and absolutely kicked Barbados by a mile. It was very strong. Straight through to the next round. Yep.
And then the last roundup was a real close race.
Oh, it's too close.
Very close. United Kingdom versus North Macedonia. And there was 1 point in it.
It's like one vote. That's why every vote counts. Like literally one vote decided the fate, and that was United Kingdom going through by one vote.
Yeah.
Huge result.
Yeah.
So that was that done and dusted. We went through to our quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, and that was Marshall Islands versus Kazakhstan, and Kazakhstan finally got rid of our corporate flag.
Yes.
So these are our wildcard winners basically against our top six from the pools. Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah.
And then we had Seychelles continued its beautiful run.
It did.
Knocking out who?
Brazil, which we honestly expected to be in the final, because it did so well in the South American continent, didn't it?
It did. It really was huge with it. Like, it was never in doubt.
Yeah.
Flag, and it's. I mean, I like it because it's different, and it's blatantly obvious what it is when you see it at a glance as well. And it's a very unique flag, and I love it. Apart from the detail in the stars, but as in, can you draw it from memory? No.
So yes, we said goodbye to Brazil, and then finally Uruguay met its maker with Canada knocking it out. Finally, for me, I've got a lot to say about Canada. Probably not in the best way.
You don't like it, do you?
It's not that I don't like it. I just don't think it's that strong.
I just think it's better than its previous flag. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I voted Uruguay this round, but it wasn't enough to help throw Uruguay out. Canada got through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had another shot.
Oh man, this is big.
So Bhutan versus South Africa, and we honestly thought South Africa would be in the final as well.
So popular.
Really popular. A lot of people tipped it to win the whole contest. But the Dragon, Bhutan, knocked it out. So we said goodbye to South Africa.
And it was a pretty clear win. It never really got more than within 10 votes of Bhutan. So pretty comfortable win. And then Papua New Guinea put up the fight of its life. It actually led for, say, 36 out of 48 hours, of voting. And Wales had, we actually had a follower who recruited a lot of Welsh people to come in, and it was good. And at the same time, it was kind of like, it's kind of annoying how they came in. They weren't really, following the whole competition from the outset. But at the same time, it is what it is. We love people to promote our page and what we're doing, so you get the good with the bad. And it wasn't bad. I don't want to say it was bad. It was so cool because PNG put up a huge fight and just lost at the end. So sad to say goodbye.
Yeah, so Wales went through.
Yep.
And then this was a bad draw for me. When I pulled out the next one, the United Kingdom and Kiribati, as soon as they pulled out, I just knew I just wanted to cry there and then. I knew I was saying goodbye to my country. I knew that Kiribati was going through. It wasn't ever going to be a close fight.
It wasn't.
And it wasn't. The United Kingdom was annihilated by that tiny little island.
And I'm so shocked because when, I guess I'm a Kiwi, I don't know the world geographically as well as, Tracy does, being from Europe, and I'm not. So I don't understand how people think about the UK flag. I always just thought, what a great flag, it's going to do well. And it made the top 12. That's not bad. But little old Kiribati, it gave it a hiding. I think the first 20 votes were for Kiribati in that matchup. It was never in the race.
As a design, the Union flag is a good flag. Again, it's unique, it's different, and as it stands on its own, I think it's great. I think there's just a lot of history that sits behind it. A lot of history.
I think that was the UK's undoing in this comp. So I feel like it got to where it was always going to get to, and no further.
But, I was pleased for Kiribati, and I voted against my country, and I voted for Kiribati because for me, I felt like it was a good flag. It was fine. It was always going to happen, and the best flag won.
Yeah, pretty cool. So that took us to the top 6, and this was our semi-finals, and it was nerve-wracking because we draw them against each other out of a hat this time. It wasn't a wild card versus a pool winner. It was all the top 6 against each other. So it was whatever we drew out, that was the matchup.
Yeah.
Lead us off. Who was it?
Yeah, so that was a heart-wrencher for you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you look back at the video, you can see the emotion on him. We pulled out Kiribati versus Wales.
I knew the Wales brigade would come out and try to crush Kiribati, so I knew that would happen again. So I was just like, oh no, this is the flag that's left that I'm really behind. And being from Oceania, and I thought, oh my goodness, it's in trouble.
Yeah.
But it got home in an absolute scrape through. It got home by a few votes. Kiribati got the chocolates. Yeah. Into the final.
Said goodbye to Wales.
Goodbye, Wales. We love you, but not that much.
And then the Seychelles and Canada. Now that was going to be an interesting one, wasn't it?
Well, for two reasons. One, because of my non-hatred for Canada, but favoritism of Canada, and Seychelles because we had the placemat, non-flag design flag doing so well, and against all odds, and Seychelles won. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Yes, in a good way. I do understand why it's such a strong flag, but I just don't get it. And that left us with Kazakhstan, Bhutan. First and second from Asia. Tracy, what happened there?
Yeah, so it was the eagle versus the dragon. And Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan
Just got home. There was nothing in it.
It's a striking flag. I do like Kazakhstan. And it's... again, I think it's... Although you get mixed up with a lot of the stands, and I couldn't even name them all yet, and especially flag them all up. But Kazakhstan does seem to stand out above the rest in that area, definitely for me.
So, that's the Borat movie, Kazakhstan. Yeah, we'll vote for that.
But in its own right, it's a very beautiful flag.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. And got home in a real close one. So Bhutan, we said goodbye to what was a real early favourite, we thought, and Kazakhstan a real surprise winner of its pool of Asia. Who saw that coming? I certainly didn't. Not at all.
No.
So that left us with who?
Oh, so in the final, the grand final, Kiribati, Seychelles and Kazakhstan. We were delighted with that final.
Pretty cool result.
Unexpected.
We expected South Africa, Canada, Brazil. Who expected those three to be in our top three? I don't think I could have ever picked that, but we love underdog flags, so we were all about this final. Yeah, this is an ideal matchup for us.
Yeah, so what happened?
Well, third place went to Kazakhstan. It was in the race for a fair while, and then it dropped off. The vote dried up for them. And then, you can announce the winner of the Great Continental Flag Off. It was between Seychelles and Kiribati.
And Kiribati, they deservedly won. They did. There was a big influx of votes from the Seychelles, from a lot of people from there, somebody that followed the page. And there was lots of people from there voting.
Yeah, so poor Kiribati had to fend off
a
lot of votes again for the second time, because Wales did the same thing. And then, Seychelles did the same, but in its own right, Kiribati got the win.
Yeah, so we were delighted for such a small, tiny nation.
That's right.
Yeah,
I think it won by 2 votes, 12 points. Yeah, it was literally, so it was 12 points is the equivalent of one. We did the scoring system of 10 votes for your favourite one, 6 points for your second, and 4 points for your third favourite. So you didn't have to choose one or the other, you just had to allocate your points. And so that was the equivalent of a first and a third place vote. There's nothing in it.
So when you started this, however many months ago now, did you envisage that this is where you would be? A, the result, and B, the interaction that you've had with the growing community?
Our page has gone berserk. Not massive your celebrities or anything, but for a flag page, we're pretty busy now.
But it's the interaction. It's not the numbers. It's the actual quality of the interaction we have with people and the friendships that we're developing.
Oh,
huge! Yourself, amazing. Obviously. Yeah. We love chatting to you. I love the banter. This fella Joey, we spent talking to him for about 2 hours today on the video chat. Just out of random. We just ended up yakking to him. Yeah. So we've made tons of new friends. It's cool. It's pretty amazing, and that's what it's all about. Because there's, as we've said, there's no money in flags. There is no 1 million subscribers in flags on YouTube. This is about making as many genuine, authentic friends along the way. No matter where you come from, who you are, we do not care. It's about who you are, and that's what we love.
Yeah.
So that was flag the Continental Flag Off for 2022. Will there be a 23?
You bet there will be.
Definitely, yes.
There's a fair amount of next year when you guys do this, maybe try it this way, or we'll pull it all differently next year. Hopefully, get a different result.
And obviously, between now and then, loads of other ideas as well on other contests.
Yeah,
we've got lots. We've obviously got the redesign contest at the moment because we found your worst flag. As voted by Instagram users. Right,
well, I mean, that's brilliant. There's loads more to do. So just a quick plug for yourselves. Where can people find you?
Right, we are on Instagram. That's where we mostly hang out, at flag_session. And we do have a YouTube page now. We're literally in the early stages of that getting off the ground. Same name, flag_session, or just flag session. You'll be able to find us. So that's pretty much where we hang out these days.
Yeah. Brilliant. Excellent. Well, thanks again. This will not be the last time that we chat, obviously. And I look forward to catching up with you very soon. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.